Nash's post-prison profile was so low that when he died in 2014, it made no news, and many of the investigators who worked cases on him in the 80s and 90s didn't learn about it for years after. Tom Lange learned of it from a television news producer. He then told Bob Souza.
And he told me this, and I didn't know it. And I would think that, and this is a couple of years after, I would have thought that there would have been someone out there who would pick up the fact that Ed Nash was dead, and nobody had until this young producer followed up on it. In fact, went down to the cemetery where he was buried and took some photos and everything else of the grave.
The death of Nash did prompt Lange and Souza to start writing a book on the case. Their insider account is called Malice in Wonderland, and it's the most in-depth look at the investigation with all its highs and lows and twists and turns. The book, of course, does not end with any sort of justice when it comes to the actual killers who entered the house on Wonderland Avenue and methodically beat 4 people to death. John Holmes and Greg Diles were accused of being among those killers, but were acquitted in trials. The detectives are sure there were others there that night and even have suspects in mind, though they are circumspect about naming them without charges being filed. Still, that final chapter is one they would still like to write.